Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another story time. Listen, I know some of you guys were probably like, is this dude not going to make another video? Has he gone soft on us? What's going on? No, actually, quite the opposite. I'm just working a lot. I have to work 40 hours a week at my job. And then I'm also putting in a lot of work on, just doing stuff behind the scenes, kind of, amping up the quality of my edits, of my content, just trying to get the best quality out that I can. I really, I just like doing, this is something that I just like to do. And surprisingly enough, I've been doing this for a long time. It's just, I've gone through stages where I've damn near quit, but I'm really back this time. Like for the past 2 months, I've been uploading really consistently. And, once I, kind of get everything locked in a little bit more, I'm going to be, getting that consistency even higher, and it's just going to be only really going up from here. I only see good things, and, I appreciate everyone that's subscribed and that's still subscribed, and that's, really everyone who's participating, commenting, liking, even just watching. I appreciate all of you. That's not why I do this, but I really do appreciate it. It helps at the end of the day, and it makes more fun to meet other people who, I don't know, just, I guess, would share similar interest or different things. I know my channel is kind of random, but all of these things I like. So I try to keep that as the basis. It's all, it's content I would watch. Maybe it's all at different times, but, because I got Alan Watts on here, I got edits, I got story time, it's just it's kind of different. So let me know how you like it. But either way, I gotta stop talking, you guys. If you read the title, you know exactly what this is about. Look, this is a story about the first time that I smoked DMT. And now this happened same time, actually maybe a few months before the dispensary story. So if you're wondering where part 2 is, I'm going to upload it. It's just that every story I make, I just sit in the booth and spit and I go off. That one, I've been working on writing it and just trying to develop it as more of a story, because so many things happened and I don't want to just be like boring or all over the place. So first time smoking DMT. Now, back in 2018, summer of 2018, I had a buddy, and we're going to call him Trevor. So Trevor, at the time, he's my main guy to go to for anything cannabis related, any concentrates, any flower. I'm hitting on my boy Trevor. And, lo and behold, on this beautiful summer day, my boy Trevor hits me up and he's like, dude, I just kind of ran into this guy. I don't know how exactly he met him. I think it was at one of those cannabis sessions, because my boy Trevor used to sell at those. Maybe he still does. I don't know with like COVID and everything how that all works, but he used to sell at these sessions, and because he blows glass, that's just what he does. And so, like, he blows all kinds of glass, from just art pieces to bongs and fully functioning rigs and everything like that. He's a really dope guy. So Trevor's hitting me up and he's like, yo, I ran into this guy and he's got zips of diamonds. Now, when I say zip, I'm just talking about an ounce. So he had an ounce of diamonds, which are just a cannabis extract. I know my other homie, who's really knowledgeable of this shit, he's told me exactly how they're made, step by step. I don't remember. I was high as fuck when he told me, and it's been a minute, but I know diamonds.
Does it work?
It's a rock, a lot of the time, and then people will add sauce to it or high terpene extract or whatever to kind of give it a more liquidy substance. Sometimes you'll just get straight diamonds, but sometimes it'll be a little mix. and this is what this was. It was a mix of the terps and the actual rocks. Okay, so he hits me up. He's like, yeah, bro, it's not too much, like, it's a pretty good deal. Oh shit, my alarm's going off. I guess it's time to get up. So he's like, yeah, it's a good deal, you know. When we split it, it's just gonna be 150 each, right? So 300 is it. And so I'm like, well, shit. I have absolutely fuck all for money. I don't have a job. I don't have shit. I don't have jack fucking shit. What am I gonna do, you know? So a few days kind of roll around, and I get the money. You know, I'm crafty. I'm with it. I made something happen, and I had a little bit more than 150. I had like 200 bucks. So I was feeling pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I got my 200. You know, I hit the bank. I threw a little bit on my debit card. You know, I get gas. You know what I'm saying? I got myself a nice little drink. Um, I'm feeling like it's gonna be a good day. And so I go to school. Like I got class, right? And my plan was I was gonna go over to Trevor's house after school and pick up, and we're gonna hang out for a little bit and smoke. Well, I go to school, whatever. I got this $150 just burning a damn hole in my pocket. It's like that's the only thing I can think about really the whole class, and it finally comes around time too. So I go pull up to Trevor's. Now Trevor, he lived with his girlfriend. They had this really cool. It was a studio house attached to the side of their parents' house, and like there was a door that led through a hallway to get to the house, but like they mostly just kept that door locked. So it was like really their own like private space. And as many times as I went and hung out over there, I never even ran into their parents. Like it was really cool. And shit, I gotta hit this water. So I pull up to Trevor's. I go around the side through the back gate, and get inside and everything. And this plug, we're gonna call him Plug Man Johnson. I know I used that in my last video, which, hey, if you haven't seen the Molly and the Oxys at work, you're missing out. You're really missing out, and a lot of people are missing out because that video kind of tanked. Nobody even wanted to fuck with it. I don't know if y'all intimidated or what. That's probably the best story I've told yet, but this is different, So I got the variety pack. Let me tell you. So I'm at Trevor's, right, and he's the king of dabs. He's the king of he's got the best setup I've ever used. Really, I think he spent like around 1,000 on his rig that he had at the time, which that's a pretty good bit. I know you can buy heady glass for like 10K, 20K plus, but having a rig that's $1,000 back then especially was like, wow, okay, this is, I was nervous to dab off it. I was always careful as hell. He's got everything, the Q-tips, he's got the little isopropyl alcohol container with a little cork bottle in this dude. He's got it all. He's got his banger was always immaculate. His banger, all like the piece that you heat up and you put your concentrate in. A lot of people's bangers, they look like they're black and all nasty. Dude, his always looked brand new. You would never catch him lacking. You would never catch him lacking with a dirty banger. He'd have build up in his rig, but reclaiming his rig, but like even rarely, he kept his shit so immaculate, and that always inspired me to like have a really nice, clean setup, because I feel like it's really nice etiquette whenever someone comes over. You're not heating them up this gross, nasty dab. Like they're gonna have a fresh, clean one. It's all sand. He's the man. Shout out to Trevor. So we're dabbing, we're feeling good. Like I said, I haven't smoked all day. I had nothing on me, so I was feeling great. He was generous enough to share. And finally, Plug Man Johnson pulls up. Now, Plug Man Johnson, this is the only time I have ever seen this guy. I don't know what happened to him. I know Trevor doesn't know what happened to him either. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. And it makes sense, right? So we'll get to that. So he pulls up, right? And he kind of, I introduced myself. Like I said, I don't remember what this guy's name was. Trevor shakes him up, whatever. We're like, yo, what's up? And we all kind of sit down. And he's telling us, he's like, yeah. So I brought you guys two different strains. He brought a half ounce of Fruity Pebbles, and then I can't remember what the other strain was. I want to say it was Skittles, but I really don't remember. And but he brought two different strains, and which I remember was really cool because I was like, damn, this is Plugman Johnson. Let me tell you. I mean, 300 for a zip of diamonds. That's not bad. And he's telling it, and he immediately he hops in. He's like, yo. He's like, you guys. He pulls out of his pocket. Lo and behold, this trusty little motherfucking DMT pen. And I've never seen DMT. This is my first time, encountering it. So I got some hair standing up on, my arm, and I'm looking at this pen, and I'm like, whoa, those look fire, dude. I really wanted to get one, but I'm like, he's like, yeah, these are $60. I'm thinking, damn, I wonder if you do 50, even though I had maybe 35 by that point, because I think I got food too, so I was down. So I was like, there's no way he's going to sell this to me or even let me try it. And I don't even want to try it right now. I was a little bit nervous too. But mid fucking sentence, he's like, yeah, I love these things because you can just go back whenever you want. You can just go right back in whenever you want. And while he's saying this, he's taking a hit off of the pen. And we're looking at this dude in disbelief. In absolute astonishment, but disbelief. Wide-eyed as fuck. This guy is really mid-sentence about to blast off into fucking DMT hyperspace. And that's exactly what he did. He just, all of a sudden, he just got really relaxed, and his eyes kind of closed, and it was maybe 30 seconds to a minute later, he just kind of came back to, and he was like, oh, I love it. Dude, this dude was such a crackhead. The most tripped out looking guy I've ever seen. This guy looked like maybe that guy you would run into, who works at the gas station at 2 a.m, and he just looks like, I don't know, he just listens to hella rock or metal music, and he's just I don't know, dude. His style was all over the place. He just made no sense. He didn't look like what he act. It was just bizarre. This dude was obviously he had smoked too much DMT. Obviously he'd done too many drugs. It's amazing to me. At this point, he's sitting in our living room, able to tell the tale and to share with us, anything he has. I'm amazed he's in the flesh, that he's alive right now. This guy, I don't know, is he Jesus? I don't know, but this dude's fucking crazy, and he did this a few times. He's smacking this, and we're just kind of like, whoa, okay. So he kind of, does his thing or whatever, I guess, and we give him the money, and he gives us the concentrate, and he's like, you guys hit me up if you want more, hit me up for these pens. And he was gone with the wind, just like as he came. He was fucking gone, and I haven't seen him since. Shout out to Plugman Johnson, because man, Plugman Johnson, dude, some of the best concentrate I've ever had to this day, and definitely some of the best DMT I've ever had. Well, not yet, right? We'll get to that. So, I remember on the way out, my friend Trevor, he's like, I'm going to be in contact with you. So I guess, technically Trevor saw him one more time to buy the DMT cart, right? And that's exactly what he did. He hits me up a few days later, and he's like, my guy, I picked up one of those pens from, our trusty little seller, and he's like, I'm going to be taking some mushrooms today. You want to come slide and maybe try this thing out? And I'm like, ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting, but I was thinking he was probably going to offer me to try some, because he knew I didn't have the money to buy one, and he knew I wanted one. So it's all working out, right? I remember I had school on this day, don't give a fuck about it. I'm just like, man, I'm excited and I'm nervous, right? I'm really nervous. That's the main thing. I'm excited, but I'm mostly just I'm mostly anxious. I'm kind of worried, because I'm this is about to be crazy. And after seeing Plugman Johnson, I wasn't. I was a little skeptical of if I even wanted to try that and go down that path, right? Because seeing this guy, how much of a fucking junkie this. I mean, this dude was crazy. It looked like he did every drug ever, all day, every day. And he sounded like he did too. I mean, he just absolutely sounded like this dude was a character. But damn. So, I finally get over to Trevor's house or whatever, and him and his girlfriend are out by the pool out back, and I kind of go slide out there and kick it with them, and we're all kind of talking, and we're kind of like, oh, should we kind of chill out here and hit it? It's kind of a nice day, kind of be by the pool. And he was like, no, let's go inside and kind of sit on the couch. And he's telling me, he's like, yeah, I don't want to try any of this today. I'm already on 8th of mushrooms. He said he took them a couple of hours before I got there. And his girl didn't want to try it that day either. I think they just wanted me to go first. Like, I swear to God, which I was more than happy to, but none of them wanted to try it. So it was kind of weird, but we'll get to it, right? Because his girlfriend ended up giving me some really strange vibes that almost kind of ruined the whole experience for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it didn't, but like, it was just like we'll get to it, right? So we get inside, and he pulls the pen out, and I'm sizing it up. I'm looking at it. It's it's the same one that Plugman Johnson was going to town on, and so we're all just like kind of, I remember just being on the couch, and I remember I go in and I'm like, yo, I haven't really done this before, like, so I'm supposed to just hit this and hold it in as long as I can and try to not let any smoke out. And he's like, yeah, just don't let any smoke out, just hold it until you can't hold, until there's nothing to hold inside of your lungs. And I was like, okay, bet, I can do that. And so, man, I remember my first hit, right? I go in, I take a hit. I don't even think I set because it was just a pull. Like, there was no button on the battery, you just pulled it. And I didn't even get the pull to register. I didn't even get it to the light to click on that I was hitting the pen. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even hit it. And I was like, okay. Like, I was just kind of feeling it out, because I didn't want my first hit to be, I didn't want my first hit to just send me into fucking oblivion. Like, I wanted to have some chance of recollecting the experience, right? I didn't want to just, I didn't want to fucking go crazy, okay? So, I'm kind of sizing it up a little more. I'm kind of checking it out, and already kind of getting a weird vibe from his girlfriend, because I remember she was saying, like, kind of like, yeah, just save me some, because, I really want to try it. And so it was kind of already, like, I was getting this vibe that I'm like, damn, she doesn't even want me to have this at all. She's just kind of too nice to be like, hey, don't smoke that. Because my friend Trevor's like, yeah, bro, kill the whole thing if you want. He's like, enjoy it. Don't, just do whatever you want with that. I don't care if I never see it again. So I'm like, man, you're the man, dude. Thank you. And now I go in for my first real hit, right? I actually take a hit, and I take a decent little hit, and I hold it in, and I'm holding it in, and I'm already kind of feeling the effects a little bit just from holding it in, just kind of already feeling a rush. And I don't know if that's just a placebo or if it really almost starts getting you that quick, like within a second or two. But I'm already feeling a rush, and I remember just finally exhaling, but not exhaling any smoke. And it was like I exhaled, and I was like, oh my God, I see why people love doing this. Like, I don't know if I said that or if that was just how I felt when I exhaled, but I mean, I've never done crack. I've never smoked crack. I've dabbed Molly, but I've never smoked crack. And, DMT to me, I think DMT and crack are this more or less the same kind of feeling, other than the fact that DMT is just completely bizarre and just what the fuck doesn't make any sense. It's visual too. It's very visual. That's the main thing. That's the main thing about it that makes the experience so. Some people would say visionary. Some people would say freaky. Some people would say, people will say any spectrum of anything about this. It's every possibility of anything. It can be the freakiest thing in the world. It can be the best thing in the world. I've had both. This though was more like the best thing in the world. I remember just thinking, man, I see why people do this, man. And I'm looking at the walls. I'm looking at the edges of things. I'm looking at my arms, and it's like you can see another level of dimension in the space between the edges. It's like looking at the carpet, let's say. Like you could see the space in between the carpet was occupied with fractal worlds of infinite possibilities and combinations for endless anything. It was remarkable. It was absolutely incredible. And I remember just looking at this pen, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at her, and she's giving me this vibe. And he's on mushrooms too, so I'm surprised he didn't pick up on this, but she was giving me the opposite vibe he was. His vibe was like, yeah, man, go. And I'm sitting here looking at these two people. One's on my right side and one's on my left side. And I'm looking at these two people. And then every time I look over at my boy Trevor, he's not even saying anything, but he's like an up arrow, if that makes sense. And every time I look over at her, she's like a down arrow. And it's like, he's like giving off the happy, positive vibes. He's like, yeah, bro, hit that. Bro, enjoy that shit, man. I hope it's everything you want. I hope it teaches you a lot, all this stuff. And she, every time I look at her, she's like, she's mean mugging my ass. She's like, God damn it, I hate this fucking punk. Like, she is pissed, dude. She's like, what? Like, she's damn near ruining my trip he's like the fucking yin, and she's like the yang. He's like the light, and she's like the dark. Like, they were just two separate vibes, two separate energies. And me being very intrigued by the substance in my hand, I'm not listening to her or him, really. I'm just like, I'm listening to him, but I'm like, fuck it. And I ripped this fucker again and again. I hit it a couple times because when I was done with it, I had gone through half the cartridge. And so, it was a 0.5 gram cartridge full to the brim. So I went through a 1/4 gram, which for being only like 30 minutes of smoking it, maybe 40 minutes, that's kind of a lot. That's a good bit. And I didn't leave my body, but I did really have a profound experience. Like, I really did go to that realm. It was very gentle though. It was very it just kind of picked me up and had my feet, it had me under the feet, had me perfectly supported, and just gently picked me up and set me in this new fucking realm. All other times I've done it, and it's been like I damn near wanted to take whatever I used to, smoke or whatever, and I just wanted to smash it into a wall and get as far away from it as possible. So it's very weird. It's very weird in that sense, where it's unpredictable. But I think for somebody who it's their first time using it, if they're in a safe, good environment, I think you're going to have a really great experience. I don't know how you could not. It's just like you're being hugged by every molecule of the universe. And it's just like, we love you. It's okay. You're all good. No, nothing to worry about. We've got this all under control. Like, that's how it feels. How it looks though is you can't describe it. I mean, maybe I gave a decent representation there, but or of what it looks like, you know what I'm saying? But when I somehow I had the urge to get up, and I've never had this urge before. Usually this just keeps you on your ass. You don't want to really move. You just want to enjoy wherever you're at. But I had the urge to get up, and I wanted to sit outside, and I wanted to look at nature, because I was like, I may not have this experience again. I don't know, but I want to see what like a tree looks like or something. And they help me outside. They kind of both get on one side of me, because I get like halfway to the door, and they very quickly realize that I could not properly function or make my way. Like I was bumping into things and just having a really hard time. My sense of dimension was completely thrown off. Like I would think I was a foot away from something, and I would be a foot closer. You know, it was very warped and weird and fucking crazy. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. But I get outside, right? And they help me outside, help me through the door. I'm sitting out there, and I give this one last really big hit. And from here, I remember looking at them both, and I was like, uh-oh, I think I really did it this time, you guys. I think I might have done too much. And so at this point, she's over it. She takes the pen from me. She's like, he needs to stop. He can't have any more of this. And I was like, oh, I got really sad. I was like, but I really thought for a second I overdid it too much. And I remember looking at this tree, and this tree, like the lines of the trunk going up all looked like snakes that were alive, and the branches all looked like they were moving, and the leaves were all changing colors and morphing and all these crazy different things. And I remember looking at this tree, and I was like, dude, this is unreal. This is just something else. And it finally, I mean, it doesn't last long. Like it'll last a few minutes, maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes most. But it just kind of, as quick as it came on, it kind of faded off. And the only reason, like, this whole time span was like 40 minutes, but the only reason it was lasting so long is because I kept hitting the pen. And remember, every time I hit the pen, she would get more pissed, until finally she just took the pen away from me. And I didn't mean to, like, I never like asked like, oh, hopefully we're still cool. I really haven't hung out with either of them since. I mean, I did a few times, but it's been a very long time since I've seen either of them. Both great people. Would love to see them both. It's just, I don't know. After that, it seemed weird. I don't know. Like, I saw through the whole scene, and I was like, I could just tell without people talking. I could tell what they were thinking and feeling. And maybe that was all in my head, but it felt so real, and it was so overwhelming that I didn't need to talk to people to communicate with them. Like, I fully knew everything they were. I fully knew everyone's intentions, and it was just weird. It was just so, it was visionary. It was profound, I guess. I mean, it's a crazy drug. I don't think anybody who ever smokes it is ever the same after. You know what I'm saying? It really opens you up to another sense of life. It really does, and to a whole other possibility of something.
Hey, hello?
Absolutely crazy. So either way, I mean, that's pretty much the story. After that, I just remember going home and thinking, damn, like, weed is like nothing compared to this. Like as long as I, because I remember I was like kind of worried about like, oh, am I like smoking too much weed right now, or am I like getting too carried away with this? And I was like, nah, dude, like as long as I don't do that every day, I'm good. Because I don't know, it was just weird. I had this like realization. It wasn't like profound, it was very simple, but I just remember thinking, wow, DMT really is the craziest thing in the world, and it makes everything else seem irrelevant. Like, I almost, after that, could have never smoked or done drugs again for the rest of my life. Like, I had this contentment, which it did leave me after a while, but it stayed pretty prominently with me for a while afterwards. Like, for weeks and I would almost say months, I felt really good and almost had like a refreshed sense of well-being, and just wanted to get back to living life in a more fulfilling way. So it was really an incredible experience. And I really didn't do it again for a long time. I didn't need to, and I just didn't run into it for a while. But man, that was still absolutely crazy. I definitely have crazier DMT stories to tell. I have two more, I think, maybe three more that are really good stories. But I just wanted to share this one because I think that, it was an interesting time, to say the least. And just how it all unfolded. And yeah, it was crazy. But man, I'm just getting lost thinking back on it. So either way, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to every single one of you who is here and watching. It really means a lot to me. More videos coming soon. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Peace.